bit of a technology geek, but not too much. Always appreciated that as a teacher, I had access to software like Windows and Microsoft Office products, even Adobe products and that sort of stuff. All of the Google Suite products, all of that sort of stuff gets lumped in with education. When I first started teaching, you could get a copy of any sort of Windows system. So I think I started at Windows 98 SE when I was teaching, and Office 2000 and that sort of stuff. And the school would be given the media, like the discs, and teachers could put it onto their own computer at home. Years later, it turned into you could buy your own media as a teacher. And I think I did that once, where I bought Windows XP and Office. I think when Windows started trying to compete a bit more, and they went to the Windows 365, or Office 365, that became available to teachers, and you could either use it as a subscription online, or you could download it to your laptops as well. That said, I've always had this concern about, what do you use when you stop teaching? Yes, people go, oh, I'll just keep using it on my laptop, because in the license it is, if you stop teaching, you need to uninstall it. And yes, if you buy a new laptop or a computer, you get Windows, and they've been a little bit better with their updates and stuff, but they also get a little bit overlordish, if you want to use that word. Log in with your Microsoft account so we can track you everywhere you go. Many years ago, I'm looking around 2012, I started, actually a little bit before, I started delving into Linux. And I've had my share of systems running Ubuntu, xubuntu, and recently Ubuntu. I haven't had much success with Mint, Linux Mint. I've been able to keep some pretty old systems running, like Linux versions. Now, 2017, it got to the point where we just said, need a personal laptop, and went and bought a HP Pavilion, an AMD system, 8 gig of RAM, and it was pretty good. I have had to replace the battery, and part of that's because I had accidentally just left it plugged in too long, and that helped the battery to swell. Anyway, that system really started to drag. Linux is known for reviving systems. I spent the last week or so just absolutely backing up every document and data file off the laptop. Everything off the desktop went into the documents, went into pictures, music, everything, just backing up everything off there, making backups of installers. Because I'm going to completely wipe it and try Ubuntu on air. Now there's a new version of Ubuntu 24.04.1 LTS, which means long-term support. Apparently supported up until 2029. I did do a check on the certified devices for that version, and the HP Pavilion is not on there at all. Doesn't mean it won't work. I'm going to give it a try. Downloaded the ISO, followed their instructions to get Balena Etcher, and I have flashed it onto this drive. I'm going to see if it works. You don't realise how distracting that glossy screen can be, do you? This, the HP Pavilion AMD Radeon R5 processor, 5-core. I've got the flash drive in just down here. We'll see if it recognises it and decides to try and boot from it. Because I went into the BIOS, and when I went into the BIOS, it wouldn't let me do jack except for check things. The reason I'm doing this is this system just seems to even just copying files, it ramps up the fan amazingly fast. And I have cleaned the fan out on this before. No, that didn't work. That's just to check this drive. Plug this into my Surface Pro. Normally if you put an Ubuntu drive in, you can see what's on it, because I wanted to check whether this had anything on it, and it had Ubuntu 18 on it. So did this one. So perhaps I needed to format it first. Yeah, format it. Yeah, okay. The disk is right protected, huh? Okay, so I've started this process again. Found the flash drive. It's almost like the last process killed the flash drive. In which case, I'm going to go with my Ubuntu 18 version, because I know I've installed that on stuff, and I'm going to see if that's going to work on here. I don't want to kill another drive trying to do this process. Man, that screen's reflective. This isn't looking promising. No. Hear the fan ramping up? Yeah, it did. Alright, need my glasses, I can't see which keys, but F10. This is what I was trying to get into before. Yeah, I've got to go down to my boot order. Fingers crossed. Yeah, right. I think that might have been it. Fingers crossed again, eh? Nothing worse than a computer not following your instructions. Yeah, forget this for a joke. This is apparently working this time, so we'll see. I'm not liking my chances. So I'm giving Rufus a try, which seems to be working, and Rufus was what I used to create my previous discs, and they always seem to work. So hopefully this one does. Moment of truth. Disc in. Waiting. This is what we wanted to do. So this is basically telling me that the Bellina etcher didn't work for me, but the Rufus boot disk creator has. I want to do this. This machine currently has Windows 10 Home it's running really slow. I backed up everything off it. My wife asked me what I was doing, and I said I wanted to put Ubuntu or Lubuntu on here. Ubuntu more preferably, because I think it's better resourced. But if it still seems slow, then I might go to Ubuntu tryout version running off the disk. Off the USB stick, I mean. The one scary thing about doing this is once you've done it, you've done it. You've wiped your computer, you've got something else on here. That's why I spent about a week making sure I'd backed up everything on external drives and stuff. Because since this has been running slow, I really have not used it in well over a year. I've been using the little Surface Pro, which I got from work. Is the mouse working? Mouse is working. I'm just going to install. I'm just going to do the default.
I will say this.
There we go. Out of those, I've used Audacity and Kdenlive. And I'm not really a gamer. Although I do use Discord with some groups and OBS Studio for recording screens and video. I was really beginning to wonder how long this is going to take. Alright. Done. Oh, there's some masking tape. First Cicada's first season. And there you have it. Fresh Ubuntu. I'll have you up and running in no time. What is Ubuntu Pro? Let's skip for now because I'm not really sure what that means. No. I'll go to that later. So, comes fresh with Firefox, the App Center link, trash can. You get your home screen down here. What's this bit? Oh, for your different. I wonder if touch support's in. Awesome. That's what I was concerned about, because this is a touchscreen laptop. That I wasn't going to have that access. What's that? There's image viewer, calculator, language, startup applications, software, plain text editor, terminal, utilities. Alright. I really like the fact that I can use the buttons, like the touchscreen. Software and updates, that's what I pressed before. Now I can go through and see what stuff is available. Obviously, because I went with the most minimum installation, it looks like I don't have things like LibreOffice yet. Oh, I hate this mouse. So, yeah, that's as per usual. Firmware data. I read in the thing, it's always good to do this after you first do your setup, your install. A small amount. I still need to download things like LibreOffice, any other software I want to put on here by the look of it, which is fine by me because that allows me to make sure that I don't have too much stuff on here, and we'll see how it operates, and I might see if I can do some video editing on here, get Caden live on here. It said I'm starting to ramble. Once it's opened up, it's not too bad. Yeah, things like this. This is stuff you'd want to have. Well, I think so. Oh, they got Opera for this as well. I've seen a lot of videos about people using, like, gaming on Linux. And I've never been a really big gamer. I'll get into that a bit later. But it seems to be running a little bit snappier than it was before. With Windows, you'd be waiting for stuff forever. Okay, so my system software is up to date. Now when you come into the App Center, this is one thing I really like about Linux. Like I said, I want this productivity, and I want LibreOffice. All you've got to do is say install. Ooh, 1.1 gig, things are getting large. Oh, I've got to do my password. And depending on the size of the file, because this one's 1.16 gigs, so it'll take a little bit to download. That's all you have to do. It downloads and installs it. It's not like when you look for a Windows program and you download it and find the executable, and then you open up the executable and install it and that sort of thing. So that's one thing I've really liked about the flavors of Ubuntu that I've used. I've got to try and remember to say Ubuntu. And look at that, this thing is really new. It's published less than a fortnight ago. Gives you your Word option, your Excel option, PowerPoint. So Writer, Calc, Impress, a database one, your vector graphics, drawing stuff. I've only really used these two before. Many years ago, when I was trying to do some extra study, I only had an old laptop with Ubuntu, the one starting with X, however it's pronounced. And it worked great. It worked great. Anyway, so this was looking to be becoming a long drawn out video, so I don't want to do that. But I'm happy that old Windows is gone, including everything that was on there. I checked the hard drive. It's a 2 terabyte hard drive in this laptop, and I only had 800 and something gig left in it. So a lot on there. Quite a lot was videos from my channel, and I've backed all those up onto various hard drives that I use. So far this is seeming quite usable. The one issue is that I know I've stuffed the battery in this one as well by leaving it plugged in to the wall, but I've already changed the battery in this once when the original one swelled up, so I can easily buy another battery, put that in and use it more judiciously like I do with my work ones, where I don't leave them plugged in all the time anymore. So many people think you've either got Windows or Mac on option. There's so many more. I almost considered trying out Haiku, which is a BOS descendant, which I saw on a video not long back. But because it's only in beta, I was a little bit concerned about that one. I want something that's pretty stable. If this ends up being too slow, I might look at installing the newest version of Ubuntu, which is much lighter on system services apparently, and I've run that on little atom-powered laptops. And I'll probably show one of those soon. Hope this was of some help, maybe.